Alright, Jim here, coming to you live from underneath Grace's deck. Well, I'm not live per se, but I'm under here and I had a different idea about what I want to do for one of these posts. Now, originally, I had this post attached to the upper side of the deck onto one of these wood panels. I just didn't feel it was very secure. So what I did is I brought another pier and I put it underneath the deck, and then I'm going to screw that in to here, and I think that'll be a lot more sturdy than putting it on some wood planks. Made it. Dun, 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 da, 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 da. Mission accomplished. Alright, so work's progressing, as you see, getting it done. I want to talk to you today a little bit about who I admire and why. Now, the Yeti over at the Freedom Point put out a challenge a while ago, and it was, who do you admire? And it took me a while. I was thinking about doing it, and I was waffling on it, and then finally it felt like it was the right time. Now, it came about recently just because of certain developments that have happened around our lives, but it got me thinking about how parents can influence us, either for the positive or for the negative. So I'm going to start off by saying that the person that I admire most has probably had the most influence on my life probably be my mother. I know, probably a mama's boy. That's fine, I'll take it. It's a little tough to talk about, but now these are stories back from even before I was born. My mother has not had the best of luck with her husbands. My brother's father, he was a drunk. My father, he used to drink. And in that relationship between my father and my mother, at that time my dad was abusive. He often got violent, and he was not a happy drunk. So my mom chose to end that relationship. And then when she did, she was raising my brother and myself all by herself. And that's a very tough thing to do on a number of levels. A job of a single parent is never easy. It's always tricky. But she made it work. And she raised us both. I think we're both very well-adjusted individuals. Well, maybe my brother more so than I. I might be a little off kilter, but I don't think that's her fault. That might be my brother's fault. She did the best she could, and then my brother put me off kilter. But that took a lot of courage. My father could have been a negative influence on my brother and I. He could have perhaps injured someone, and she chose to end that relationship and to become a single parent. And not everyone can do that. But she took on that responsibility, and she did it well. Often working multiple jobs, night shifts, whatever she could to get enough money to get by. And we still had a lot growing up, surprisingly. Being younger, I made choices. I knew that my father at the time was a bad influence. And I know some of those things, some of those traits can be learned. Some of those traits can be genetic. I know, like, if there's an addictive personality inside the family, that can be passed down. So I made very conscious decisions to kind of follow in the footsteps of my mom and my brother, who both have very good work ethics, and I chose to model my life after theirs. I wouldn't be here today where I am right now without their influence. I owe a lot of success to, my mom, and if there's a second big influence, of course, it'd be my brother. Because of the way I've been raised, because of who they are, it's just made me a better person. And I've been able to use them as that gauge to become better. But I don't want to get too down on my father. After the relationship with my mom ended, he cleaned himself, he cleaned up, quit the drinking, got remarried, had a couple other sons, and he raised them well. Luckily, that had a happy ending. A big shout out to my mom and my brother, who always watch. Thank you for all you've done. Just know that I really appreciate it. Many thanks to Warren over there at the Arizona Homestead project. I've been using so much concrete out here to get these posts in, and I picked up the rest of his concrete. I'm like, Warren, you still got more concrete? He's like, heck yeah, I got more concrete, 14 more bags. I'm like, I'm coming for him, Warren. Woo, heavy. Just one at a time, Oh. Oh yeah. So it's been taking quite a bit of time. Digging, squaring posts, getting concrete ready, taking quite a bit of time. A little bit more time than I thought. That's okay, I'm here to get it done. Got a tour coming through. It'd be nice if this thing were up before the tour. If anyone's noticed a slight decrease in the quality of the video or audio that we got here, it's because both of our cameras are down. Using my cell phone, no external mic, so I'm trying over here. Bear with us. The show must go on, am I right? We're gonna add a little more concrete to this bad boy. Now this was a challenge put out by Yeti over at Freedom Point. He's been doing daily vlogs, talking about religion, metaphysical stuff, whatever pops into his head. He's got all of these thoughts, sharing them every day. I'm going to leave a link to his channel down below. Go check him out. Remember, there's the off-grid tour coming through. We're very excited about it. There's been some changes. So the tour is still going to start up in St. David, but then there's another homestead in Tombstone or around the Tombstone area. So that will be the second stop, and then we will be stop number 3. So definitely check that out. I might actually go on the tour myself. For people that can't attend, I might bring out the camera, go along with the tour, and give you guys a peek at some of these other off-grid homesteads. Then of course, we'll end up here. It's gonna be a good time. Like I said, if you're in the area, come along, check us out. All right, thanks a lot for joining us, everyone. Catch you on the next video.